I'm making this video for anybody that's in the dog training field or in the pet field that just really don't know where to start. They don't know what blueprint they should follow to find, success. You know what I mean? But really, I guess some of these principles can be for anybody in any field. The first thing that you have to figure out is, what do you like about what you're doing? You know what I mean? And what excites you in this field? Like for myself, I like the dogs. Obviously, you guys, you're on the dog channel, right? So I like the dogs, but what I like more than the dogs is helping people. So helping people is what excites me more than even the different breeds of dogs. There was a time where, when I was new in the field, where, seeing a Corso or a band dog or learning about some breed of dog that came from China or Mexico, those things was exciting. But after a while, those things don't excite you anymore because you become accustomed to it. So then you kind of got to pivot. You got to pivot and find out what excites you about the field. Because if you don't find something that excites you, then it'll burn you out very quickly. You know what I mean? And I'll just give you some examples about things that I wanted to do in the field. These are things that I have not done, but I did want to do. I wanted to create a program for at-risk youth in the school system where I taught them how to train dogs, where that was just like the tool that I used. But I wanted to teach them life lessons that would help them, kind of get out of the mental place that they are, or help prepare them for the future. So that's something that I wanted to do. And it wasn't just because, I love dogs so much, but it was because I was an at-risk youth. You know what I mean? And something like that could have helped. It would have helped me because when I was young, I liked dogs. So if somebody used dogs as that tool to help me learn X, Y, and Z, I would have been more open to learning than somebody just maybe coming and just preaching at me, or just somebody older just trying to tell me what to do. The dogs would have been something that would have kind of helped me. So that's something that I wanted to do. And what excited me about that was the hope of me being able to help somebody not go through what I've been through, or not do the things that I've done and not mess up the way that I've messed up. So it wasn't all about the dogs, but the dogs was just a tool. It's just like this channel. Most of the stuff that you see on this channel is going to be about me sharing information about dogs, how to do X, Y, and Z, or trying to inform you about a different dog breed or something, because that's what I like even more than the dogs. I like to help people. I like to provide that information. That excites me more than if somebody brought 20 different breeds over here. That's not going to really excite me. But it's the fact of what I can do with this and how I can help somebody else in their situation. So you got to find out what excites you in what you're doing, and you got to give some thought to it. You don't have to necessarily copy somebody else's blueprint, because that might not be what's best for you. That might not be what excites you. You see somebody else successful in this, and you like, well, if that worked for them, that worked for me. But it might not work for you, because they're their own individual person and you're your own person. So you have your own gifts that God gave you, and you have to use those gifts, and they're using what they can to the best of their ability. So you got to think about who you are. What do I want to give people? What excites me? And then you got to keep plugging at it. You got to keep working at it until you start to see some momentum. And just like anything else that you build, it's going to take time. If you're watching a house be built, they're going to start off with the I don't even know what you call it, but before they lay the concrete. And then while they're laying the concrete, they're going to be bringing in the plumbing and the electrical, and then you're going to start seeing the house get framed and all that kind of stuff. So with everything that you do is always going to be like stepping stones to get there. You're not just going to end up at success, overnight. So you can't feel like, if I don't see success tomorrow, then that means whatever I'm doing is not going to be successful. It's like, no, you got to keep going. You ain't finished building it yet. And as you building it, you're going to start tweaking stuff. You're going to start changing stuff. I don't like how I do that. I don't like how I do that. So you're going to get more creative, and you're going to get more thoughts as you go forward. But if you just sit in the room and you just don't do nothing, then you're not going to have no thoughts. So the thoughts are going to come as you kind of put yourself out there. But you got to find out what excites you. And then you got to look at yourself. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? So you work on your weaknesses. For me, my weakness is I'm not a good speaker. I gather the information. I understand the information. But for me, I got to learn how to articulate the information. So I'm learning. I'm constantly learning how to articulate information. You know what I mean? And I've been in my field now for maybe over 10 years. You know what I mean? Talking to people and trying to break down training in the simplest way, because training is a very nerdy thing, and it's a lot of layers to it. So you're trying to take something that has a lot of layers, and you're trying to keep it stupid simple so that somebody can take these principles and apply them. I'm still working on that. I'm still not the best at that. You know what I mean? So you gotta like see what your weaknesses are and work on them and keep plugging at it and be creative. Like I say, don't feel like you need to follow somebody else's blueprint, somebody else's outline. So you got to be innovative. In the industry that we're in, it's still like in an infant type of phase. You know what I mean? It's not immaturity. A lot of people don't know what they're doing in this industry. They're still trying to figure it out. And it's a lot of industries like that because the world is still changing. That's why I said this video right here, I'm making it for dog trainers, breeders, groomers, whoever's in this field that is trying to find their way. But that's why I said this principles is really applicable to anybody because the world is constantly changing. And everybody's trying to find a way how they can be successful, and everybody wants to follow the blueprint of how somebody else was successful. It's kind of like a rapper. The rapper's scared to be himself, so he go rap like Homeboy because Homeboy got success. So let me rap like him because everybody on that train. But then when you're doing that, you're going to lose you. Who are you? What do you bring to the table? How are you an individual? You know what I'm saying? So that fear will kind of like cripple you from being who you are. And just some advice for you guys that's in this field. You can't get wrapped all the way up in the dogs because the dogs is not what's going to pay your bills. It's the people that's paying your bills. So I see a lot of people treat the dogs nice, but then treat their own client mean. But your client is the one that hired you. So you can't beat down your client because they don't know what to do with their dog. And then you expect them to refer you and tell other people about you, but you beating them down, but you showing the dog all the love. That don't make no sense. This whole industry is about meeting needs. Somebody got a need or a want. Somebody wants a dog. They want an English bulldog. You are an English bulldog breeder. Somebody wants a dog trained. You are a dog trainer. So they're looking at you like you have the solution to their problem. And if you didn't have that solution to their problem, they wouldn't want you. So it's all about what they want and what you can give. And then now you got to find what excites you within that. So I hope this video helped y'all, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. God bless.